Everybody, it's Chris and Des Show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Des.
And today we're going to talk to you about the Netflix film that is making a lot of Oscar buzz.
It is.
I'm trying to get my...
Pull it up so we can know their names.
Mank, which is about Herman Mankiewicz, who is not my favorite Mankiewicz, first of all. I love Joseph.
Who was another Mankiewicz?
Joseph Mankiewicz, who wrote and directed All About Eve, my favorite movie of all time.
Oh.
His brother, who is in it for a second, but he's like following along Herman.
When you
like,
said that, I was thinking about that there was another person who played Mankiewicz. But it didn't cross my mind that there would be another actual Mankiewicz.
No, yeah. Herman Mankiewicz and his brother Joseph Mankiewicz, who I love. And then they're both in it too, and he's like his little brother falling around like, can I get a job? And then he ends up winning more Oscars than Herman Mankiewicz does later on.
Okay. He has knowledge. He has it's all in there.
And so it is a story about kind of like the making of Citizen Kane in a way. That's kind of what it is. Orson Welles is in it, and Herman Mankiewicz. They wrote it together. I don't think they really liked each other. And then...
according to this movie.
But then in it, it's also kind of like what Citizen Kane is based off of, which is William Randolph Hearst, and then his relationship with Marion Davies and all that kind of good stuff. Sorry, Des usually does the explanation.
That's real. It's
I just
for
know
you
a lot
to
of
do
the...
it because I don't have those details.
And it's really just kind of like
explain why.
Watching their relationship together. What I will say, you can see a cool relationship thing of like William Randolph Hearst with Mankiewicz and Marion Davies with Mankiewicz, with Mank, I should say, Herman Mankiewicz, and even Orson Welles with him. Like that, nobody liked anybody. It didn't seem like at that point, but that's just how it was. I will say there is some talk about Gary Oldman and Mank for.
He's the guy who plays Mank.
Best actor, but the big talk is Amanda Seyfried for playing Marion Davies.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I'll let Des see what she thinks, and then we'll talk about it. Des, what do you think of Mank?
Okay, here's my experience with this movie. I knew that it was about the making of Citizen Kane, so the first thing I did was I watched Citizen Kane. I love Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane is an amazing movie. It totally is engaging. It has me on the edge of my seat the whole time, even though I know the movie. Like, I've seen it over and over, and I know who Rosebud is and what Rosebud is. I'm still in this story about this guy and getting interviewed. He's interviewing all these guys, and it's just enthralling, well-written. I can't talk enough about how great Citizen Kane is. It is one of the top movies of all time for a reason. It is so good. Then I watched Mank. And even though it is about this guy and this process and everything in that time, it was not as engaging and it is not as enthralling, and I wasn't as invested. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of Gary Oldman. I don't know if it's because of the writing. I don't know if it's because I was distracted and I was at my house and it was the holidays, so I was thinking about a million other things. Like, all those things are genuine factors as to why I just couldn't get there. But I couldn't get there. And so, maybe if I sat down and really was dedicated and gave it a second shot, I could have a better experience, but it wasn't a good experience for me. What did you think?
And it was directed by David Fincher, who can direct stuff, who's a good director.
I don't know. If it was a combination of all of those things, or if it was just one of those things, that if I changed one of those things, I would have had a better experience.
I think it's the movie.
Okay,
I got the same reactions to my sister, who watched it actually separately from me, because we were like all excited. I love old Hollywood.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be right up my alley. I'm like,
that's why I watched Citizen Kane first, because I wanted to be all into it, and
this was not my alley. This was a few alleys away.
Okay.
And it's sad because I would normally love, especially
historical.
I just love that stuff.
Yeah.
I will say it is easy to tell why everyone's talking about Amanda Seyfried, because she is like a breath of fresh air of light and energy in this movie that is like not energetic. Right?
Oh man.
Which is interesting because it's about this guy who is a great screenwriter, and you would think like it would be written in a way, and I know there's a lot of the detail is crazy, like the production design, the costumes. David Fincher's amazing at always making sure everything is lined up, so that all is amazing. It's made well. It just is not.
It doesn't connect. There's something that doesn't. You don't get there.
It's slow and kind of boring, which is sad because it is about something that is really fascinating, about a guy who's really fascinating.
Yeah.
It just something didn't click for me. I don't think for Des either.
It absolutely did not click for me.
The performances were all fine. Lily Collins was good, and Gary Oldman was good. I thought he was real good. And the guy who played Orson Welles, who was, give me a second, Tom Burke, I thought he was good too.
Yeah.
I thought they were all good. Amanda for sure is like, her Marion Davies is another step above, and she's just great. It makes you like Marion Davies more. And I watched this interview with Orson Welles before he died, obviously. I watched this interview with Orson Welles, and he said like the thing he regretted about Citizen Kane was that the girl in it, everyone thought was their version of Marion Davies. That's what he says he regrets about the movie, is that she came off so badly and people kind of ruined her career and her life afterwards. He said she got the short end of the stick because she really was a nice, genuine person who loved people. She was the host of all these William Randolph Hearst parties because that was his girlfriend, and he wasn't the real like nice guy, you know. And so she had to come and be like the person that everyone liked and was nice. She was nice to everybody, and so he was sad that she got a raw end of the deal. And kind of being William Randolph Hearst's girlfriend kind of hurt her relationship with everybody else because they were like, oh, you're with him?
Yeah.
And in the movie, she does a really good job of being like, I kind of like him at the end. She's like, yeah, we started off and I was this young girl and he's this rich guy, but I kind of care about him now. And I like that. And there's an end scene that's really good too. Anyway, she's the reason you'd watch this movie, I would argue. I love this time period. I love old movies.
You want it to be so good. That's what I wanted it to be, so good.
It's not. It's just
not.
It wasn't for us.
Not when you compare it to Citizen Kane.
No, definitely not.
I'll tell you that right now.
Now you can, even on comparing it to like The Trial of Chicago 7 and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and The Five Bloods and Soul and all these other movies that came out, I'm like, oof, it just would keep going down
the list.
Yeah. And it's not as good as any of those movies I just mentioned. So
that's our 2 cents.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
If you were like, this was my favorite movie, you morons, then put that in the comments so we can know.
Please don't call us morons.
I can take it.
I will be hurt.
Just let us know what you think too. Bye.
Bye.